Hello my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and today I thought I would tell you guys about some of the book releases that I'm excited for through fall 2023 into the winter of 2024. So if you have a similar taste in books to mine, if you've been around my channel for a while, stay tuned. First of all, I need my glasses. And I'm sorry if the glare is annoying from the light, but I cannot see without them when I'm reading on my phone. So the first book that I am so very excited for actually comes out October 3rd, and it's called A Haunting on the Hill by Elizabeth Hand. Now, this book, from what I've read, is like the first or only sort of authorized by the Shirley Jackson estate to take place in the same world as The Haunting of Hill House, which is a book I loved so much. I love Shirley Jackson in general, so this book was one of my faves. Also, We've Always Lived in the Castle, so good. So let's read the blurb here. It says, from award-winning author Elizabeth Hand comes the first ever novel authorized to return to the world of Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House. So it says, open the door. Holly Sherwin has been a struggling playwright for years, but now after receiving a grant to develop her play Witching Night, she may finally be close to her big break. All she needs is time and space to bring her vision to life. When she stumbles across Hill House on a weekend getaway upstate, she's immediately taken in by the mansion. Nearly hidden outside a remote village, it's enormous, old, and ever so eerie, the perfect place to develop and rehearse her play. Despite her own hesitations, Holly's girlfriend Nissa agrees to join Holly in renting the house for a month, and soon a troupe of actors, each with ghosts of their own, arrive, yet as they settle in, the house's peculiarities are made known. Strange creatures stalk the grounds. Disturbing sounds echo throughout the halls, and time itself seems to shift. All too soon, Holly and her friends find themselves at odds, not just with one another, but with the house itself. It seems something has been waiting in Hill House all these years, and it no longer intends to walk alone. I get goosebumps reading that last line there. I'm so excited for this one. So, October 3rd, if you were also excited for that, mark your calendars. Okay, let's see. Next on the list, we have The Vacation by John Mars. I just read a John Mars book. It was my first John Mars book, and I loved it. So I've added this one to my list. This one comes out December 19th, 2023. Let's see what it says about it. Venice Beach, Los Angeles, a paradise on earth. Tourists flock to the Golden Coast and the promise of Hollywood. But for 8 strangers at a beachfront hostel, there's far more on their minds than an extended vacation. All of them are running from something, and they all have secrets they'd kill to keep. Honestly, it's brief, it's to the point, and I'm sold. I love those sort of like vacation, strangers, drama, murder, maybe. Who knows? Who knows if there's murder? But I am all in. I'm all in. Oh, next up is The Women by Kristen Hanna, a new Kristen Hanna book. She's an auto-buy author for me. I love her so much. Every book I've read, I've enjoyed a ton. This one comes out February 6th, 2024. So let's see what it says. When 20-year-old nursing student Frances Frankie McGrath hears those unexpected words, it is a revelation. The words were, women can be heroes too. I skipped over that part by accident. Raised on idyllic Coronado Island and sheltered by her conservative parents, she has always prided herself on doing the right thing, being a good girl. But in 1965, the world is changing, and she suddenly imagines a different choice for her life. When her brother ships out to serve in Vietnam, she impulsively joins the Army Nurse Corps and follows his path. As green and unexperienced as the men sent to Vietnam to fight, Frankie is overwhelmed by the chaos and the destruction of war, as well as the unexpected trauma of coming home to a changed and politically divided America. The Women is a story of one woman gone to war, but it shines light on the story of all women who put themselves in harm's way to help others. women whose sacrifice and commitment to their country has all too often been forgotten. A novel of searing insight and lyric beauty, The Women is a profoundly emotional, richly drawn story with a memorable heroine whose extraordinary idealism and courage under fire define a generation. That sounds so good. That sounds so good. And where I first met and fell in love with Kristen Hanna was in The Nightingale, which is another book that takes place during a war. And she just won me over so hard with that one. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for this one. Next up, we have, what's it called? Oh, Everyone is Watching by Heather Gutenkopf. Now, I read The Overnight Guest a year or two ago and loved it, so I'm excited for this one as well. She really got me with that one, and I bet this will be great too. So let's see what it says. The best friend, the confidant, the senator, the boyfriend, the executive. 5 contestants have been chosen to compete for $10 million on the game show One Lucky Winner. The catch? None of them knows what or who to expect, and it will be live streamed all over the world, completely secluded in an estate in Northern California, with strict instructions not to leave the property and zero contact with the outside world. The competitors start to feel a little too isolated. When long-kept secrets begin to rise to the surface, the contestants realize this is no longer just a reality show. Someone is out for blood, and the game can't end until the world knows who the contestants really are. Again, you had a bunch of strangers in a kind of isolated area. Who could ask for more? Who could ask for more? Very much looking forward to that one. Oh, when does this one come out? March 26, 2024. Let me see what is next. Oh, shoot. Okay, next we have The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. I have read, I think, 2 Rachel Hawkins books at this point. The Wife Upstairs, and the name is escaping me of the second one, but I read it this year, loved it. So I'm very excited to read this. Actually, the author reached out and asked if I would like an advanced copy of this book, which I gladly accepted. It comes out January 9th, 2024, but I'm sure I'll have a spoiler-free book review up well before then, but let's read the blurb. So it says, there's nothing as good as the rich gone bad. When Ruby McTavish, Callahan, Woodward, Miller, Kenmore, and that name's a mouthful, dies, she's not only North Carolina's richest woman, she's also its most notorious. The victim of a famous kidnapping as a child and a widow 4 times over, Ruby ruled the tiny town of Tavistock from Ashby House, her family's estate high in the Blue Ridge Mountains. In the aftermath of her death, that estate, along with a 9-figure fortune and the complicated legacy of being a McTavish, passed to her adopted son, Camden. But to everyone's surprise, Cam wants little to do with the house or the money, and even less to do with the surviving McTavishes. Instead, he rejects his inheritance, settling into a normal life as an English teacher in Colorado, and marrying Jules, a woman just as eager to escape her own messy past. The blurb goes on and on, but that alone, super rich lady dies. I'm in. I'm in. I can't wait to see what's going on with Camden and his life. Next, we have a book I know I've already talked about on this channel. I think earlier in the year when I was talking about my 2023 TBR. But next is My Darling Girl by Jennifer McMahon. This comes out also October 3rd, 2023. I love Jennifer McMahon so much. I've read 3 of her books so far, loved each one, so I'm very excited for this one. So I'll just give you a little bit of the blurb here because I know I've already talked about it, but in case you're new, maybe you don't know. Let's see. So it says, a spine-tingling psychological thriller about a woman who, after taking in her dying alcoholic mother, begins to suspect demonic possession is haunting her family. Like, yes, please. Give me that. Allison has never been a fan of Christmas, but with it right around the corner and her husband busily decorating their cozy Vermont home, she has no choice but to face it. Then she gets the call. Mavis, Allison's estranged mother, has been diagnosed with cancer and has only weeks to live. She wants to spend her remaining days with her daughter, son-in-law, and 2 granddaughters, but Allison grew up with her mother's alcoholism and violent abuse and is reluctant to unearth these traumatic memories. Still, she eventually agrees to take in Mavis, hoping that she and her mother could finally heal and have the relationship she's always dreamed of. But when mysterious and otherworldly things start happening upon Mavis's arrival, Allison begins to suspect her mother is not quite who she seems. And as the holiday festivities turn into a nightmare, she must confront just how far she's willing to go to protect her family. Like, yes. That sounds so good. Sounds so good. Okay. So the next one is from an author I've heard so much about, but have read nothing by. So I'm excited to give it a read. So this one comes out January 16th, 2024, and it is The Fury. I'm probably going to get this name wrong. By Alex Michaelides. He's written The Silent Patient and The Maidens. I've read neither of those, but I hear people talk about them. They either love them or hate them. So I'm excited to read something from this author. So let's see what it says. Masterfully paced thriller about a reclusive ex-movie star and her famous friends whose spontaneous trip to a private Greek island is upended by a murder. First of all, like, what did I tell you? In a faraway location, there's probably strangers involved. Love it. From the #1 New York Times bestselling author of The Silent Patient, this is a tale of murder. Or maybe that's not quite true. At its heart, it's a love story, isn't it? Lana Farr is a reclusive ex-movie star and one of the most famous women in the world. Every year, she invites her closest friends to escape the English weather and spend Easter on her idyllic private Greek island. Okay, maybe there won't be many strangers there if it's a private island. I tell you this because you may think you know this story. You probably read about it at the time. It caused a real stir in the tabloids, if you remember. It had all the necessary ingredients for a celebrity. A private island cut off by the wind and a murder. We found ourselves trapped there overnight. Our old friendship concealed hatred and a desire for revenge. What followed was a game of cat and mouse, a battle of wits full of twists and turns, building to an unforgettable climax. The night ended in violence and death as one of us was found murdered, but who am I? My name is Elliot Chase, and I'm going to tell you a story unlike any you've ever heard. So, like, already, I'm in. And let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of his other books, and if you did, what you thought of them, and if you're planning on reading this one. So that's going to do it for me for tonight, you guys. Let me know in the comments down below what books you are looking forward to reading throughout the fall and into the winter. Also, I thought I would ask you guys here, because I don't know where to begin looking, because I want something good. So recently, I've been thinking, all my friends are talking about the romance books they're reading. Romance is not my thing. But I think a trope I could get into is the villains to lovers trope. Maybe the villain takes her over to the dark side. Maybe he stays a villain, she stays whatever she is. But I'm interested in trying the best, your favorite villains to lovers book. And when we're going villains to lovers, I know that's going to involve probably some sort of sci-fi. You know, it's not just rivals to lovers. I don't want that. I want villain, someone bad, real bad, who eventually becomes the main love interest. That's just what I'm in the mood for. So let me know your recommendations down below if you could. The best one you've ever read, and I'm going to check it out. Anyway, you guys, I hope you have a great day or night, whatever time it is when you're watching this, and I will see you guys again real soon. Bye.